Monday, November 13th. Here we go. Little victory formation for you. 49ers fans, welcome. I've been drinking coffee since about 7 a.m., which means sip of the day is off the board here. We're at the end of the cup already, but we're not at the end of any show. We're just beginning the Damon Bruce Show. Thank you for joining us. My gosh, 16 subscribers short of 9,000. It grows. I thank you. The podcast is getting download at record rates. Thank you so very much. It's good to have football, and it's really good to see the 49ers look an awful lot like the 49ers. What a win in Jacksonville. I really mean it. I thought it was one of the bigger games of Kyle Shanahan's entire coaching career going into it. And I don't mean it's going to be a referendum on whether or not he should be the head coach or not. But this was a big game for all of the reasons that some games in your schedule feel bigger than the others. This was a monster. And the 49ers came out and they played like the monster that reminds everyone of the potential that this team has. Through the first 5 weeks, it seemed that nothing could go wrong. Through the last 3 weeks, very little went right. Well, almost all data points came together to spell out dominance down in Jacksonville. What an afternoon. Brock Purdy finished with a career-high passer rating of 148.9. This is the guy who came into this game with the best QBR in the NFL. Kittle went back-to-back 100-yard games for just the second time in his career. He scored his fourth touchdown of the season. Debo punched one in. Unfortunately, Christian McCaffrey didn't. Was probably asked to do a little bit too much at the end of that for personal glory. But I get it. It's a record. I'm not going to get mad at it. Thank God he didn't get hurt. But the Niners have now scored 30 or more 6 times this season. That is the most in the NFL. So that defense absolutely flashed its teeth, and it looked nasty. The Jaguars were held to 12 first downs on the entire afternoon. Second time this year that the 49ers registered 5 sacks in a single game. You got to go all the way back to week 1 in Pittsburgh to see that. The Buckeye bookends. Chase Young, there's no doubt that Chase Young represented a better athlete and a bigger handful. What he also represented was look good, feel good, play good, and I just think that he reignited Nick Bosa in a way that no coach speech, nothing from Fred Warner was able to do. Like, Nick Bosa is psyched that his Buckeye buddy is now playing along the same defensive line, and you could feel it. You could see it. It was tangible. The 49ers defense caused the Jaguars to have a 5-possession sequence that was just a total domination. There was a fumble, then they settled for a field goal, then threw an interception, then fumbled, then threw another interception. And Trevor Lawrence is responsible for 3 of those 4 turnovers. You got Nick Bosa dropping strip sacks out there. You've got him creating a level of uncomfortable that makes Trevor Lawrence throw the interception. It was just an awesome day for the 49ers defense. For the second time this year, they have 4 takeaways. It was everything that you wanted. Nick Bosa forcing the 9th fumble of his career. He's got 47.5 sacks. The guy's only played 60 games. He's 4.5 sacks away from being number 3 on the all-time 49ers sacks list, behind only Bryant Young and Charles Haley. Guy is special. The fear that defensive lines can be taken out of games just by getting the ball out as quickly as a quarterback gets it in its hands. For a minute there, it seemed to come back into focus because the one time the Jaguars actually got the ball moving was with a screen game. So there is a way to still nullify defensive pass rushes. Where the Niners got really improved yesterday was Ambry Thomas in for Isaiah Oliver, and the back end of that defense had its best day, while the front end of that defense had a fantastic day, while Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw were up to their patrolling sideline to sideline, not missing tackle tricks. It was a good day for the San Francisco 49ers in Jacksonville. Purdy's best stat yet as a professional. How about this one? In his first 2 seasons now, he's registered 3 games with 3 or more touchdown passes and a passer rating of 140 or more. The only other guy to ever do that in his first 2 seasons was Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. One of the best out-of-nowhere stories. That's what Purdy has officially become, one of the best out-of-nowhere stories in football. Kyle Shanahan had a great week during the bye week. He did. He added Chase Young, who felt like he instantly provided gasoline on a defense that needed some. Steve Wilks comes down from the booth. The seas part like for Moses, and all of a sudden, the 49ers are getting to the quarterback again. Larry and I had an awful lot of fun during 49ers Wake Up talking about the real importance of that. Again, I don't care where Steve Wilks is, but if the team does, then put him wherever the team wants him. If they think it matters, great. Again, psych yourselves into it. Talk yourselves into it. I don't care. The right play being called in from the parking lot is still better than a bad play being called in person on the sideline. But it felt like the 49ers had a bounce in their step that had been missing, and it was great to see, and they were dominant. They were absolutely dominant. Brock Purdy is playing a very special brand of football. A fact that I brought up with Larry on 49ers Wake Up is that Joe Burrow has the best completion percentage in NFL history. Joe Burrow's at 68%. Brock Purdy is at 68.8% this season. And in his career, he is 0.2 of a percentage point behind Joe Burrow's best ever. I don't know what more you need to see out of Brock Purdy to buy in and believe that he is the right quarterback for this situation. Is he the perfect quarterback? Is he the greatest quarterback of all time? Is he going to the Hall of Fame? Should you talk about him like you talk about Joe Montana? No, calm down. But holy shit, this kid can play. If you are saying anything other than, man, this kid can play, you have an agenda that has nothing to do with data points of reality being returned to you. That's all I'm going to say. An incredible afternoon of football. The fact that Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel show back up and all of a sudden you're putting up 144 rushing yards against one of the better rushing defenses in the league. No coincidence at all in my mind. Talent makes plays pop. And you got more talent on the field with Deebo and Trent Williams to pop big plays than you do without them. You want to hold that against Brock Purdy? Well, he's got too much talent around him for me to really think that he's the guy. Would you like a less talented 49ers team to then run the experiment you think needs to be run that will make him the guy in your mind? Again, what you think doesn't matter. It's what the NFL knows. And what the NFL has to admit is the 49ers win an awful lot of games when this kid starts. He plays really well even when they lose. He plays really well even when he's throwing some interceptions. He's had one clunker, legit clunker of a game, as all quarterbacks have in their careers, especially in the developmental arcs of their careers. He's had one clunker against Cleveland. Everything else has been pretty damn good. Let me just walk you through it real quick. In week 1, you had Brock Purdy out-dueling Kenny Pickett, again, who was taken in the first round of the same draft, where Brock was picked last. In week 2, it'd be impossible to say that he out-dueled Stafford, who was the number 1 pick his draft year, but he certainly held his own. He made no mistakes, and the 49ers won that game. In week 3, he has 2 touchdowns and a romp over the Giants, and Daniel Jones, who right now is out of the league because of an injury, he was a first-rounder and the second quarterback taken behind Kyler Murray, who was the number 1 pick. So he's beating another quarterback with a better starting point, better pedigree coming out of college. In week 4, he beats Josh Dobbs, which is now officially more impressive than it was even back in week 4. And along the way, he completed 95% of his passes in that game. In week 5, he outplayed the $160 man, Dak Prescott. He threw 4 touchdowns and beat the number 1 defense in football soundly. In week 6, again, worst game of his career against Cleveland. He was bad. He threw his first interception of the season. In weeks 7 and 8, he didn't cloak himself in glory, throwing 2 more interceptions against Minnesota and Cincinnati. But at the same time he was doing that, he was completing better than 70% of his passes over those 2 games, throwing for and running for 713 total yards from the line of scrimmage over 2 games. The interceptions were bad. Everything else but the interceptions in those games were good. Some real elite throws, but all anyone wanted to talk about was the interceptions that they could not see, or that they could only see. And they didn't even want to bring up the fact that, he didn't throw any in his first 5 weeks. It just means something that he's now thrown these in these weeks. Goes to Jacksonville. Another date against another number 1 overall pick taken. And he beats that guy too. Trevor Lawrence was dwarfed by the production of Mr. Irrelevant. A 3-touchdown day. Again, the first 3-touchdown day Trevor Lawrence has this year will be his first. Brock is now, 3 games where he's thrown 3 or more touchdowns? Oh, and he also had the best passer rating of his entire career in a game where the pressure on him to perform was real. Kid can play. The kid can play. That's all there is to it. The George Kittle play where he finds himself isolated on a linebacker. Purdy survived a collapsing pocket. And you want to say he doesn't have the arm strength? He basically lollipopped that one up because he couldn't even step into his throw. The pocket was collapsing in front of him. Puts it right on the money as if he walked out there and handed it to Kittle, who goes for a 66-yard touchdown, and that was the first time that game really kind of blew open. A George Kittle stat that I think you'd be interested in is he's now got 559 receiving yards this season, making him just the 4th tight end in NFL history to record 500 or more receiving yards in each of his first 7 seasons. He's up there with Rob Gronkowski, Keith Jackson, and Hall of Famer Ozzie Newsome. So George Kittle's keeping pretty damn good company as a tight end. And all of a sudden, the 49ers are back on track, are they not? Doesn't that feel good? I hope it feels good. Hey, hit like and subscribe. That would feel really good for me. If 15 of you who are watching right now are not subscribed and you hit subscribe right now, guess what? I'll be at 9,000 subscribers by the end of this show. It only takes 15 of you to make Damon really, really happy. Again, we're not going to meet my goal of 10,000 by Thanksgiving, but I do want to meet my goal of 10,000 by the end of the year. So let's go. Get me to 9,000 today, if you don't mind. Hit subscribe, hit notify, hit like, and things will be lovely. Thank you so much to everyone who hit me with the super chat yesterday during the post-game show and even said, hey, this is for you and Jillian to go out. We had a lovely dinner last night. It was our 7-year anniversary. I can't even wait to see what the Plus looks like 7 years from now. What will we be then? Thank you so much for being here at the starting point of this journey. It means an awful lot to me, my family. Your support is incredibly significant, and it's felt, and I thank you. Some very interesting results all around football yesterday. Again, I'm not going to do the exact same show that I just did with Larry Krueger for you. I do want to get into our chat and hear what you guys had to think about the game. And I'm telling you, I think we're getting closer and closer to a call-in show at some point in time where I'm just going to put up a way for you to join the chat, and we're going to do that. I'm feeling like this could be a week to roll out some new things. I'll also let you know that I've got a scheduled conversation coming up. He's scheduled to appear. Matt Mayoko doing a State of the Union for the 49ers. And I really did believe that we needed to see the game in Jacksonville before we were ready to do any State of the Union, because it was that big of a fork in the road. Had the Niners lost in Jacksonville, everything feels so much different this morning, even if they only lost by a half a point somehow. Everything feels really, really different this morning. Now that they've won in Jacksonville, you can start saying things like, hey, do you realize that they're one Jake Moody kick away from being 7-2 on the year? They are. This is a good football team. A good football team that fell on 3 hard weekends in a row. Those weekends, as you know, through the vision of hindsight 2020, again, the Bengals might have lost to the Texans yesterday, but the Bengals are good and better than their bad start indicated. We knew that. The Vikings, Kirk Cousins goes down, Josh Dobbs steps in, they're winning football games. The Cleveland Browns just go into Baltimore and beat the Ravens, who on Monday of last week were the best team in football again. And now they've just lost at home to the Browns, who are a tough team to figure out, but they got a nasty defense. And what a heck of a 4-game sequence the 49ers officially have now in front of them. Buccaneers get the job done on Sunday. Seattle, Eagles, Seattle. Woo! That's a big boy stretch of games right there. That's a big boy stretch of games. 49ers go 3-1 in their next 4. They're looking good. They're looking real good. Thank you for being here. I want to say thank you so much to my sponsors, starting with Ike. I know you got lunch coming up this week. You got lunch coming up every day, kind of about an hour from now. Order Ike's. You want to support me, support my sponsor, and grab yourself a sandwich from Ike's. Use the Ike's Reward app so you start eating your way towards free sandwiches, no matter what taste buds might be sitting on your tongue. Ike has got the right sandwich to please those taste buds, no matter what you're interested in. He's got it. Some of the best sandwiches you'll ever have in your life. Go to Ike's. That's my guy. He's probably circulating around in the chat. He's real happy that the 49ers won. He's opening up new stores. He's inviting you in to come get free sandwiches. That's my man right there. Thank you so much, Ike, for all of your support. I want to say thanks very much to MyBookie.ag, who continues to support the show and the podcast. MyBookie.ag. Sign up with promo code Damon. It's a great place to make your wagers. It's a great place to play a little blackjack, a little roulette, a little slot, because they got a casino, because they're in international waters where rules need not apply. MyBookie.ag. Use promo code Damon when you sign up. Make sure your credit card is approved for international use. Like I said, mybookie.ag, promo code Damon. Now, with the holidays soon approaching, if you're a sports fan, have I got the coolest thing for you to check out? Jack's. Jack's in San Francisco. Their brick and mortar is on Chestnut Street. The coolest vintage, out of circulation, unique to Jack's only, cool sports t-shirts, the coolest that you've ever seen, are at Jack's. Go to jacksf.com, and when you use promo code DamonBruce10 when you sign out, you'll get $10 off your order. Mission Reds, an old San Francisco baseball team. They're not making this logo anywhere but at Jack's. I love this t-shirt. All sorts of out of circulation, cool stuff at Jack's. Use promo code DamonBruce10 when you check out what they got, and they got something. You can do your entire holiday shopping at jacksf.com. Use promo code DamonBruce10 when you indeed check out. Lots of chatting is already happening. Thank you so much for stopping on by. Here. Good to see True Blue Forever, who said the new guy's got about an hour to go ahead and figure it out himself. Because you're here with us. What is up, RIP Cougar Rebel? Great to see you. We got Old Dirty Hungus saying, look, good morning, Plusers. What a great wake up with Larry this morning. Thank you so much. I'm glad you dug it. Larry and I got a hell of a show. We had more people watching us than both sports talk radio stations combined in San Francisco. Those stations should officially be shitting their pants because they're living in a world they created by letting me and Larry go. They've officially lit a couple of monsters. Thanks so much, Michelle. Always good to see you. Talk about a get-right game, she says. If all Chase Young ever does is remind Nick Bosa about the concept of competitive spirit, it's a hell of a trade. I mean it. Look good, feel good, play good. It looked like that was in play for Nick Bosa. He loved seeing his old Buckeye brother lining up across from him, and the results were glaring. Got to pay so much attention to them. Javon Hargrave had his best game of the season. You got Kinlaw having a good game. You got Eric Armstead having a good game. You got Winters stepping in, having a good game. You got Fred Warner having a good game. You got all of a sudden Ambry Thomas in for Isaiah Oliver, and that defense was better. Everyone felt better. You could feel the confidence coming right through the TV screen when you were watching the 49ers. Skills report. Anybody here remember the time that the Niners had lost 3 in a row but got healthy and blew the Jaguars into oblivion back in 2023? I think that might have been Chase Young's first game with the Niners. I think you might be right. You guys remember? I remember. Skills continues, but I wonder if anyone remembers when the Warriors traded for Chris Paul, got off to a good start, then lost 3 in a row because Andrew Wiggins' corpse-like play bogged them down. We'll get to that in just a minute. Skills. And one of those losses, Draymond got tossed by the cheating-ass refs who invented some rule where you can go back in time and tee people up. Isn't that weird? Officiating around professional sports it's like there's a new pandemic. There's a problem. There's a problem in the NFL. Every game, every single quarter that you watch, something makes you go, what the fuck are they looking at? What is going on there? I thought the Nick Bosa roughing the passer was maybe the biggest scoop of BS poured on the 49ers yesterday. I mean, what more do you want to do? He barrel rolled Trevor Lawrence so Lawrence would land on top of him instead of the other way around, and he still got the roughing the passer call. It was ridiculous. You have NBA officials inventing new protocols on the fly. And having said all that, Draymond is going to be never given the benefit of the doubt. He has earned that life. He has chosen it, and the Warriors are always going to be dealing with it. I will also say that the bumping that went on in that game between Draymond and Donovan Mitchell, at no point in time should any of it been a foul, and the two of you guys need to stop acting like total fucking pussies. You're going to get bumped a little bit in the game. You don't need to bow up as if you've been besmirched and your whole family's been assaulted. Like, just play on. Drama queens. I mean, Draymond is literally handing everyone the blueprint. Here's how you get under my skin, everybody. I'm going to put it on tape for you. Everybody, just watch this tape, and you'll see how easy it is for me to lose control of a temper that I've never been able to control. And I will get thrown out of any game you need me to be thrown out of. Getting Draymond thrown off the court is one of the easier things to do in basketball. They could have really used him. We'll get into more of that when we slip over into Club Plus. Hey, Otis, it's always good to see you, brother. Leslie, great to see you. I'm glad you're in here. Erwin, who was hanging around, 49er Wake Up this morning, great to see you.
Indeed, we sally forth on this fine Monday. Thank you so much, Sporticus.
All the cool kids. All the cool kids in the house. And San Bruno Mike is happy because Pittsburgh, very quiet 6-3 now. Couple of tough games, though. Couple of tough games. Got Cleveland and Cincinnati coming up, Pittsburgh. I think we're going to have some fun in Club Plus. A couple of other things before we get there. Again, I've been going since 8 a.m. You have hopefully digested quite a bit of 49ers. Thanks so much to the thousands of you that watched the post-game show yesterday. We went live at the 2-minute warning. That was an awfully fun show to do. Anything that you might have missed, you can find it all on the podcast. Go to Damon Bruce Plus. Make sure you're subscribing there. Subscribe here as well. Where are we? 13 subscribers short of 9,000. 13 of you. Who's the lucky 13? Go ahead, hit subscribe, hit like, hit notify, all of those things that make the algorithm happy. Thank you so very much. Couple of Buckeyes, right? Couple of Buckeyes. Nick Bosa and Chase Young. I love it. I mean, it worked better instantly than I actually thought it would. Chase Young, he didn't even have a great game, but you can see the motor. You can see the attention that you just got to put on him. More attention over there means less attention over here, and that's going to be good for Nick Bosa. And with all this attention going this way, you beasts in the middle can eat. The 49ers, look, Jaguars have more legs than the Jacksonville Jaguars scored points yesterday. So there you go. There's your points scored to actual appendage ratio. It's a good day for the 49ers. God, it was a good day for Shanahan. And hey, we've criticized the shit out of Steve Wilks, rightfully so at times. It looks like he got the right scouting report. He's like, I got to play man. We'll be better playing man if I get Isaiah Oliver off the field and Ambry Thomas on the field. And even though that might turn Diamador Lenore into a little bit of a soft spot that gets tested all afternoon, you make that decision. They did. They rolled with it, and they won in dominant fashion. What a fun plane ride home that had to be from Jacksonville. And the Niners, let's be honest, they needed to take a breath. There's immense pressure around this team this year. Immense on everyone. You can feel it everywhere. You can feel it in the fans. Fans get shook by the play, by the down, by the series. It's a big boy season. And if you ain't cut to approach it like an adult, you ain't going to last. '49er Ultimate Report saying, let's go. Damon Time, thank you very much for being here. Really appreciate it. Delbert, who stopped on by Plus Mania 2. Happy Victory Monday. Indeed, indeed. Chef A wants it. She gets it.
Maximum football!
Hell yeah, that was maximum football. That was maximum football. My man Sporticus. Trent Williams, the return and the addition of Chase Young. That's a big difference yesterday. Still saw a lot of arm tackles on defense, and especially in the secondary. It'll come. It'll come. I thought it was just a bad look. There's always something to point at and say, I didn't like that. You know what I didn't like? I didn't like the sequence when they're like at first and from like the 13-yard line, and I thought there was some just too cute stuff. Obviously didn't like the trying way too hard to get Christian McCaffrey that touchdown at the end. I thought there was a better way to go about it, if not just punt on that situation entirely, because you're not here trying to score touchdowns in 18 consecutive games. You're trying to win a Super Bowl, and that guy shouldn't have a single carry that doesn't matter put on his body, his frame, the rest of the year. When Brock Purdy's out of the game, Christian McCaffrey should be out of the game. I don't know what Jordan Mason has to do to be put into a game. Kind of the same way I don't know what Trace Jackson Davis has to do to be put into a game, but we'll get to that in a second. But I'd like to see a little bit more of that backfield depth get exercised. It was good to see the carry that Debo had yesterday. It was not great as a wide receiver, but as someone to keep an eye on, someone to scare you, someone to make you nervous. It was a good day for Debo. 12 subscribers away. 12. Only 12 now. The dirty dozen. Who are you? Who's going to make me happy? Subscribe-a-thon. It's like Toyota-thon, except fewer annoying commercials, hopefully. By the way, going back to old radio show days, I loved Elena. I still love Elena. I love Elena. But yeah, the freaking Toyota-thon lady, whenever we see her, we're like, God damn it, it's Toyota-thon again. We can't stand her. You get 50 billion Toyota-thon commercials during your Warriors games. It's a lot. It's a lot. Jason Tillman says, look, they can't put two linemen and just chip Bosa all at the same time anymore. Yeah. Look, when you have fewer, we're comfortable double teaming that guy choices to make, everybody eats better. And that's what you saw. Everybody ate better. All right. I want to talk a little Warriors here before we hop back in the chat and keep talking football today. Because, look, I'm not going to sit here and cook the Warriors based on the result of last night. I was out at dinner with Jillian. I didn't catch much of the game, saw how it finished. Not going to go back and rewatch that one. But what I don't understand in games where Draymond gets ejected, like against Cleveland, in games where you have a clear need to get bigger because you are being outbodied and out-physicaled up front, why is Steve Kerr so reluctant to go to Trace Jackson Davis? Is it because he's a rookie? If that's the only reason, Steve needs to swallow his bullshit pride and give the kid a look. Don't presume it's not going to work before you give it a shot. Like, I love Steve Kerr, but he is stubborn and set in his ways that could come back and bite this team. Now, also, the reason why Steve is good and successful is because he's great at communicating with his team. And you know what would be a really bad idea? To just tell Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson, hey, sorry, you guys suck right now, so I'm benching both of you, but you got to have shorter leashes. Andrew Wiggins is an absolute disaster right now. He's a disaster. And Klay Thompson's in his final year with the Golden State Warriors. That's who Klay Thompson is. He can't summon it. He'll have a really good game. I bet you Klay has 10 really good games left in him this year. Not more. He just doesn't look right. It's early. A lot can change, but I don't know if a lot's going to change there. At a certain point, a player is on a downslope. There's no amount of heart. There's no amount of hustle. There's no amount of rehab that changes that. At a certain point, a player goes on a downslope. Klay is at that point in his career. What's super frustrating about Andrew Wiggins is this motherfucker is 28 years old and should be peaking, just learning the lessons of a couple of NBA finals ago, how real big boys play big boy basketball. And that guy is going through a crisis of confidence that is just, I don't get it. I don't get it. And the thing is, Kuminga, he does get it, so play him. And Moses Moody, he does get it, so play him. And if Trace Jackson Davis is getting an opportunity to go in there, watch how quickly he shows you that he gets it too. Steve Kerr's got to drop some of his old bad habits that are no longer serving this team well. And that's just being straight up. And everybody, look, we love Steve. Steve's done an awful lot. Give him a wide berth, but we have seen enough. You've got better. It's one thing to stick with guys when you got no one behind them. Dario Saric is not a nobody. Trace Jackson Davis is not a nobody. I don't think Brandon Pajemski's a nobody. I certainly know that Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody are somebodies, and they'll be even bigger somebodies the more you play those guys. Steve, get your thumb out of your ass. The old way of doing business with the Warriors is the wrong way to do business when you've got new talent on your team. And the Warriors have more talent now, deeper on their bench than what they had last year. So stop acting like the only thing you got is Anthony fucking Lamb. You got more than that now. Wiggins, Klay, and Steve Kerr need to snap out of it. Minnesota Timberwolves just whooped your ass. Cleveland just whooped your ass. They were faster. They were stronger. They were better. They were better. They were bigger. And we're 11 subs away from 9,000. 11 subs, baby. Old Dirty Hungus. The fresh off the bye week Shanaplan was pretty impressive. It was. Shanahan had a really good day. Steve Wilks had a good day. It was a great day for the 49ers. A couple of other things to let you know about before we go into Club Plus. And this is going to make you happy. The LA Clippers are minus 67 with James Harden on the court through 4 games and are plus 24 with him on the bench. I told you the guy's an absolute loser. Oh, I'm the system. Dude, you ain't anything. You're the problem. That's what James Harden is. He's a terrible teammate. He's a selfish player. He's got the ability to be a great player. He's just kind of a dickhead who'd rather be at a strip club. I wish the Clippers the absolute fall on their face worse. I love rooting against James Harden in a way that I never even liked it before. Now it means a lot to me. I want unmitigated failure attached to him the rest of his career. What I couldn't believe is a story that I saw on TMZ that Seth Curry, do you hear how carefully I said that? Seth, not Steph, Seth Curry, cut by the Mavericks after a video of him hitting a blunt and sipping on the lean, where you basically take, codeine cough syrup and pour it into a Mountain Dew. Like, first of all, dude, grow the fuck up. You want to get all toasty, and you are going to the like high school can't buy alcohol level of drinking. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're a grown man. Go buy a real bottle of booze and drink that if you want to get drunk. You're sipping on lean. What are you, fucking an idiot? And then you're filming it and you're putting it on wherever you put it. Like Seth Curry, you're officially surrounded by someone who is better and smarter than you. Be more like your brother. What are you doing? What are you doing? It was unbelievable. I mean, again, you're an NBA player. You got millions of dollars, and you're basically making toilet wine. What are you doing? You should watch the Plus. I'll show you how to properly drink. You want to get fucked up? I'll give you a whole seminar on how to do that. The minute you are a multimillionaire, if you're putting Dimetapp into Mountain Dew, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're devoid of taste, culture, and style. What can I tell you? Oh, but Damon, it just hits you differently. Come on. The University of Michigan assistant football coach talking about Jim Harbaugh like they found his corpse laying in an empty shower was just hysterical. I would rather Indiana never win a game ever again and not have a coach ever cry like that than win a national champion with an interim coach crying like that. This is what Damon, normalize men crying. No, you don't get to act like Jim Harbaugh was shot down over freaking Happy Valley today when he's waiting on the bus for his team to get on it. Good God. The Jimbo Fisher buyout? They're going to pay him like $75 million to not coach Texas A&M or whatever that is. Don't tell me that's a professional or anything but a professional sport. Good God. Money Green's like, hey, man, I'm here to hang out. I'm on Twitch. Let's get Damon a new ganja jar. Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, look at it this way. We got a full ganja jar. The JJ Raider ganja jar is bursting. Come on, people. Rick Barry, we need the 9K. Let's get there. Let's get there. Oh, 8 subscribers away. 8 subscribers away from 9,000. 8,992. Hit that subscribe, hit that like, make it happen. Thank you so very, very much. What else do I got to tell you? I think that's it. Other than you got to stop listening to the sky's always falling crowd when it comes to getting your sports analysis. Everyone was trying to tell you how bad the Niners were, how bad that start was when it was all said and done. Do you realize that through 9 games right now, the 49ers are sitting in their best 9-game record under Kyle Shanahan? They're 6-3. That's the best 9-game start other than 8-1 back in 2019. This is a really good, well-coached, well-executed, deeply talented team. They control their own destiny. They're healthy. They've got a big part of the schedule coming up, and the most amount of fun that you can have on a football field is about to be revealing itself. Damon, how'd your YouTube meeting go last week? We're getting dangerous, Chef A. We're learning things we didn't know before. Learning. A lot of congratulations for the anniversary, number 7. No 7-year itch to worry about. As a matter of fact, Jillian and I, it's really nice that we were able to go out last night because it was our last night together this week. Jillian just left for a business trip this morning. She flew to Atlanta. She's in the air right now, flying to Atlanta, and is going to be there all week, which means it's daddy boy time, which means we're doing pancakes for dinner. We're doing popcorn for dinner. We're going to do all sorts of things that mom would never let us do. And that's how we keep the boys happy. Boys time is fun time. We're going to watch Star Wars. We're going to watch Star Wars again. And when Star Wars is over, maybe we'll watch more Star Wars. Dad knows how to party. We're going to have ourselves a great time with the boys. Stacy Leo dropping the hoorah. Thank you very much, Stacy. Oh, someone heard that we're going to have ourselves with Smiley Dan. Is that ducks? I thought those were cobras. Duck. Smiley Dan, thank you very much. Are you ready to hop into Club Plus? Let's see where we are. By the way, 5 subscribers away. 5 subscribers away from 9,000. Who's going to step up to that plate? Hit that subscribe button. Hit the notify button. Give that little like pound thingy thing. Do that. Do that. And I will certainly appreciate it. Thanks to all of you for listening to the podcast. 49ers Wake Up is already out there for you in podcast. Make sure you give that a listen. Certainly a download on your way to supporting the program. It means an awful lot. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. And please do remember, it's going to be a great week. Got all sorts of videos and highlights and things to talk about all week long. A conversation, a State of the Union with Matt Mayoko coming up a little bit later on this week. I'm working on a few other things, including my man Nick Nick Wright. So we'll see what this week looks like when it's all said and done. We got a lot coming up for you in the second half of this football season. Thank you for being a part of it. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Plug it in and make the disco face. Hold on. Plug it in. And we turn this off so I get sexier. I was very dimly lit last night. No wonder why Jillian thought I looked good. All right. Oh, the Adam Richmond is amazing. We're talking about delicious sandwiches at Ike's. I agree with you, Baron Red. I love the Adam Richmond. It's one of my favorites. It really is. Damon, can we get an Ike's up in the North Bay? Well, how about this, Mission? I do know Ike well. I will speak to him about it. Ike is the best for sponsoring Damon Bruce, and I can also say Ike has the best subs. Those sandwiches are delicious. Delicious. And yeah, my man is the real deal. The real deal. Oh, wait a minute, Damon. Look at what the Lions are doing. Can we get the right shout out?
Come on, Deece. Deece nuts.
Hell yeah, you can.
Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
And they do. Dude, the Lions got not only a great 7-3 start, they got a soft spot in their schedule coming up. Like the next 6 games are all really winnable for the Detroit Lions. Let me scroll back here. The Lions, their next 6 games are Bears, Packers, at the Saints, at Bears, Broncos, at Vikings. It's hardly a murderer's row. You want a murderer's row, by the way? Wait until you see what the Seahawks got coming up on their schedule. The Seahawks are 6-3, right there with the 49ers, but listen to what the Seahawks got. This weekend, the Seahawks got the Rams coming off of a bye week. Then they host the Niners on Thanksgiving. Then they're at Dallas. Then they're at the Niners. Then they host the Eagles. You'll be lucky to go 1-4. Well, no, I mean, they'll probably be a little bit better than 1-4, but not much. They're not going to go 4-1 over that stretch. And if they are, holy shit, who knew the Seahawks were going to be that good? One more subscriber. All we need is one more, and we'll be at 9,000. When we get to, look at it this way. If we get to 9,000, I will finish this. I will pull this entire bottle. If we get to 9,000, who's got it? Who's coming up, going once, going twice? If you do it while it's in my hand, I'll do it. Who's going to get aggressive? Let's go to 9,000. Give me 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, 1, 9,000, 9,000. I'm like a carnival barker here. 9,000! 9,000 subscribers. Well then. Bottoms up and cheers to 9,000 of you. Thank you very, very much. I actually want 901 now. Oh, nope. Back to 899. Somebody subscribed and ducked out. Doing the old, I'm pulling the rug out from underneath you until this goes to 9,000. I need one more. When it happens, I'll let you know. Ted is saying, good morning. We some lurkers over here on Twitch. You get the same great show. Help Damon get another ganja jar going. Get this man affiliated on Twitch. Hey, Twitch it up. I mean, Twitch it up is a little, it's a little, like, I'm not a big Twitch guy. I've never decided in my life I want to watch somebody else play a video game, but we're streaming over there. It's happening over there. If it works for you, God bless you. Thank you so much. There are times I forget it. Oh, wait a minute. 9,002. 9,002. Bottoms up and cheers. Ah. 902, baby. 9,002 subscribers. That means all we officially need is 998 subscribers. That's all I need. I need 998 subscribers. If I get 998 subscribers before the end of this show today, I will shoot heroin on the shit. No, I'm just kidding. But no, that's really, thank you so much. Appreciate all of you so very, very much. Ambry Thomas. He had a good game, right? Thank you, Niner Ultimate Report. Dolonite. Trent and Debo leading the team out on the field was a big morale booster. Look, those are two of the first dudes you want off the bus, right? Those are, dude, Trent Williams. Boom. Rick Mighty Bone Feliciano. The Buckeye sandwich of Bosa and Chase, very satisfying. That was tasty. Absolutely tasty. I got two other accounts, but I don't think @DamonBruce wants to reach 9K through shady means. No, not at all. I don't want performative subscribers. I want actual subscribers. And having said all that, yes, go ahead and create 1,000 new accounts and subscribe with all of them. Thank you. JJ Raider. I'm here, just really busy at work. No time to read the chat. JJ Raider. My man. Chef A. Grab the keys, come on, let's go. Oh, fucking Toyota-thon. It's the worst. I can't do it. Oh, man. Postman in Capitola. Thank you, Postman. Always great to see you, brother. Where did you and Mrs. Plus have your anniversary dinner? So I'll tell you, we wanted to go somewhere where like we could enjoy the sunset, and we needed to get it in early. We needed to go a little early bird special because the grandparents came over to watch the boys last night. Jillian's parents did. And we went to the beach chalet, which, you know, dinner was okay. It wasn't great. We had a beautiful view of a beautiful sunset. We had a romantic little dinner. The food's all right. It wasn't that great, but we knew it wasn't going to be. We wanted let's not spend too much money. Let's just have a nice little romantic setting. And we sat there at a table for two in the corner, and we held hands, and we looked into each other's eyes, and we said, aren't you really tired all the time now? Freaking kids, aren't you exhausted? Hasn't this layoff been one of the most stressful things we've ever been through beyond my freaking stroke? Yet here we are. You can't keep us down. If there's one thing I can guarantee all of you, I cannot guarantee that the Niners are going to Super Bowl. I can't guarantee that the Golden State Warriors are going to be back in the NBA Finals. There is nothing out of my purview that I can guarantee other than I can guarantee you my wife and I are going to be together until I die. I love that woman. I'm so lucky to have her. I really, truly am. And through everything, through all the chin checking that we have taken as a couple, we just keep on coming, man. We're like Tyson. We pound our gloves together and we just keep on coming out in the middle of the ring. Just answer the bell. Next round, next round, next round. How many rounds are you going to go? We're going to go all of them. Love that woman. And I'm so glad that so many of you got to meet her at Plus Mania, and you get it now. You know that I'm with someone special. I'm guessing this is about the Warriors. George says, I agree with you, Damon. We're sinking. What I don't understand is why you wouldn't go to the other option when you have other options. There's one thing to stick with Klay and Wiggins when that's all you got. It's another thing entirely when you've got guys who aren't even rookies. Like, you don't want to put your faith in Trace Jackson Davis. He hasn't earned that from you yet, Steve. All right. I think you're being overly cautious with the player who can play. You're being overly cautious. Kuminga and Moody. You know, do Klay and Wiggins, do they both need to be like embarrassed and taking out of the starting lineup? No, but again, there should be no embarrassment in that. If Chris Paul can come off the bench, then anyone should be able to come off the bench. If Steph Curry can do it, Steph Curry, I believe is his name. If Curry can do it, there should be no amount of I won't do that in anybody's language. It's about performances, guys. You need to raise your performance or you're going to be asked to perform less. That's just how the NBA works, even for anointed, card-carrying, bona fide dudes. Sam Bruno Mike says Steve Kerr's got to get rid of that little Popovich stuck in him. Play the talented young guys. Look, Greg Popovich has never had problem playing the talented young guys. Greg Popovich will play his best hand. It's time for Steve Kerr to have a little bit more faith. I understand why he's stung by rookies who he doesn't believe in, because he's been screwed over. Trace Jackson Davis will not embarrass you. He will not embarrass you. All right, what else we got? What else we got here? What, are you telling me that Seth Curry story wasn't real? I saw it on TMZ. They usually don't get okey doked. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. Damon, they got you. It was fake. It was fake. Okay, I didn't know. All right. First of all, I couldn't believe it was coming from a Curry. I'm glad it was fake, but it was TMZ that reported it, right? TMZ usually doesn't get cooked like that. Neither way, I do stand by everything I said. You cannot, you You cannot be drinking lean when you're a millionaire. Dr. Jazz Hands. Dr. Jazz. Guess what I did for lunch on Friday? I found an Ike's in Vegas. Was surprised that my man had a sandwich named after him. Steak, onion ring, steak sauce. Mwah! Get the Damon Bruce. Put me in your mouth. Chocolate cake for breakfast? Again, we're going to Bill Cosby. Chocolate cake for breakfast. Remember when Bill Cosby jokes were actually charming and lovely? Yeah, Dad is great. Serving chocolate cake. Knowing is half the battle, Damon. You're getting dangerous. Getting dangerous on the YouTube. It's happening. We will get Cobra. Oh, AJ Cruz dedicating burners. Again, I'm finding out that this is all fake right here. Look at it this way. I thought I saw a video of Seth Curry hitting blunts. You telling me the whole thing was deep faked? I don't know. I'd like TMZ, I thought had it. I'm glad Currys aren't acting a fool. Again, thank you very much. Postman, 10K by the end of the year. Let's go, people. Hey, we're at 9,003 now. 9,003. Lynn saying, every single time I hear think of how Ray is just being authentic. Ray was never anything but authentic. Kim says she's waiting for a Marin in Ike's patiently, and Ike is saying, hey, it's real simple. Go to Santa Rosa. You can get there. Absolutely. And here's the thing. Why don't you go and see whether or not you're in the delivery range? Download that Ike's app, and I guarantee you that you can get that door dashed to you. But Ike, my man, what can I tell you, brother? There would be the success that we were having. I think, I think that this was going to be a successful endeavor. But because of Ike, it has been a successful endeavor that has been able to sustain for my family because of a true partnership with a true friend. Get yourself someone who cares. Get yourself someone who is a believer and someone who is willing to take chances, and get them in your corner, and hopefully they'll never leave it. My man Ike is a very special person in my world, and he knows that. I hope he knows that. I don't think I can demonstrate it enough. When the entire Bay Area radio industry decided, hey, we're just going to pretend that the 18 years of excellence and incredible ratings that this guy gave don't exist anymore because we can't do that anymore. There's people who literally walked away from me. There's people whose careers I've helped mold who have been devoid and absent and not helpful at all. Everyone who has answered the bell will be remembered. Everyone. And my man Ike stepped up to answer a bell of sponsorship right away. And I am forever grateful, and I can't wait till he is literally Ronald McDonald, and I am literally YouTube's version of whatever the YouTube successful broadcast version is of sports. And we get to go to a beach together and just laugh. Just straight up laugh. San Bruno Mike says, do it. Let's go. Who's got the burner accounts? Sign them all up. Again, we've been stuck at 9,003 for far too long. Let's get 7 more. Let's get to 10. Let's go. We got to start building up to 9,100, 92, 93, 94, 95. We got to get to 10,000. Let's go before the end of the year. Damon, I like that pull. Thank you, East Bay Ricardo. Pull. It's like we're shooting skeet. Nice. The pull. Oh, my man Ike is in Vegas right now. Maybe you can see Dr. Jazz Hands. Look at him celebrating the wins. Thank you, Ike. Let's go. Let's go, brother. It builds, it grows, it happens. Yeah, it does. JJ Raider. JJ Ganja. $9 because it starts with a 9. Thank you, brother. That is awesome. That's awesome. Thank you very, very much. JJ Raider, I mean it. You have officially given it the office, brother. Uh-oh, are you going to be like McNulty on The Wire? Chef A, are you watching The Wire now, I hope? 14 shots for each of the women found. Hopefully you don't have 9,000 shots of booze. Oh, look at it this way. I'm so glad that you're watching The Wire. It's the best. Damon, that ought to get your day going right there. There's your sip of the day. It was the sip of the day. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Again, look, Jillian is in Atlanta. The boys don't come home until 5. It takes a lot more than this much of a bottle of whiskey to get your boy drunk. So we're okay. Here, you know, I want to celebrate the 9,000 subscribers. Thank you. Where are we? We're still at 9003. Take me to 007. Going to get 4 more subscribers out there. Postman. Oh, yo, yo! That was the official sip of the day. Damon, cocaine, hell of a drug. Thank you. You guys are awesome. By the way, great view from the chalet. It's better than the food. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. The Park Chalet, here's the thing. I had never done dinner at the Beach Chalet ever before. Never done dinner there. And probably won't be doing dinner there going forward. But I do like that, the Park Chalet. I like that bottom floor. I like the outdoor area. It's a great place to go for a bite and a beer. Damon, it is number 957 at Ike's. Again, it used to be number 680 at Ike's. We've changed it a couple times. Maybe he needs to change the new number to YouTube. Ike can handle his menu however he wants. I'm in enough locations where you do the menu whatever you want. Again, I'm the best thing that ever happened to those numbers. That hasn't changed. You guys feeling the true love? Damon and Jillian, that's true love. Thank you very much. Margarine knows what's up. Happy wife, happy life. It is the truth. Damon, I forgot to join the channel when I logged into Twitch. JJ, you do whatever you want. You got carte blanche, brother. You do whatever you want. All right, kids. Heck of a show today. Some crazy love from you. It means an awful lot. Oh, look at this. East Bay Ricardo dropping the 10 bones. Thank you so much for making all of our days amazing. Keep it up, man. There's whatever you think I mean to you. I can't even tell you what you guys mean to me at this point in time in my career. I don't want to say that I ever took an audience for granted, but it was never up to me to gather the audience. It was always the job of the station to bring an audience to the show that I was hosting. Now, this has just been incredible. Again, I don't consider it an audience anymore. And I even said this sounds corny, But I do. I consider you, so many of you, like personal friends. You've gotten to know me, my wife, my children, my mother. I mean, there is a real community that is forged on YouTube that just doesn't happen anywhere else. It really doesn't happen anywhere else. So I thank you. And by the way, Sporticus knows that, Damon, enjoy your quiet time today. Hashtag Dag Gold. You know it, brother. You know it. You know it. Thanks to all of you for being a part of this. It means so much to me, to my family. Oh, 9,004. It grows. It grows. And I thank you. To the point where it almost breaks my heart to let you know that you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.